folks, big welcome to you all to the Centre Ice UK podcast, the inaugural podcast. I'm your host Raymond Monaghan, and I'll be looking at the latest happenings week on week relating to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League. I'll be bringing you interviews and regular features over the weeks and months to come. Now, since this is my first ever podcast, and also the first for Centre Ice UK, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself before we get down to business. I was first introduced to the sport of ice hockey almost 16 years ago now, while I was channel surfing one Saturday afternoon. I just happened to catch a Game 4 rerun of the 1996 Stanley Cup final between the Florida Panthers and the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche won that match, of course, to clinch their first ever Stanley Cup, and thanks to home internet becoming affordable round about that time, I was able to start follow them and the NHL in general, and I've remained a fan of the Colorado Avalanche since. I was lucky enough to catch two NHL teams in action about 6 years ago. I went down to London to the O2 Arena to witness the matchup between the Los Angeles Kings and the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. And, well, what a fantastic weekend of ice hockey it was. It was just really fantastic to see two top NHL teams face off against one another. A great weekend for all ice hockey fans, and I'm sure some of you listening managed to make it down to that weekend or the similar ones that have been on throughout Europe. In terms of British ice hockey, I was actually blissfully unaware of a professional league being in existence in the UK until early 2010, when I heard about the formation of the Braehead Clan just a few miles down the road from me. I caught their first ever home game against the Newcastle Vipers, and since then I've both been hooked on British ice hockey, and I've been trying to learn more about it ever since. And to be fair, with all the people and that I get to talk to week on week, I feel I keep on learning more all the time, and there's always loads more to learn. I've managed to visit 8 of the 10 EIHL venues at least once. The only two I've yet to visit in the flesh are Hull and Coventry. I've been there in spirit though, thanks to the webcasts they have on offer, and hopefully, if things all being well, I'll be able to visit those two venues later on this season. Now, I hope you enjoy the content I'll be bringing you over the coming weeks and months, and I'd just like to put out a very big thanks to everyone that's helped out and shown their support to Centre Ice UK. I hope as the audience gradually builds over time, I'd very much like to hear from either fans or local journalists that are present at any matches. You can email or call us with a lowdown of the match. So if you fancy doing that, then you can just drop me an email with your details to ray@centreiceuk.com, and we can have a chat for what you have in mind. Now, that's enough about me. Let's get down to business. Drop the puck at Centre Ice for the first period. Let's start by quickly looking back to the results from last weekend. Sheffield overcame the Nottingham Panthers, 5-3. Big win for the Sheffield Steelers there. They were desperate for that one. Coventry overcame the Cardiff Devils, 4-2. Fife won by the same scoreline in the Challenge Cup against their rivals, the Dundee Stars. Braehead lost out to conference rivals, the Hull Stingrays, 3-2 in that one. And without doubt, the biggest shock of the weekend has to be Edinburgh Capitals overcoming the Belfast Giants 5-3. On to Sunday, and Nottingham got quick revenge against their rivals, the Sheffield Steelers. They defeated the Steelers 6-1 at the NIC. Braehead took the long bus trip down to Cardiff. They managed to get a 2-1 victory over the Cardiff Devils. Hull lost out at home to the Coventry Blaze by 5-2. Edinburgh couldn't build on their magnificent win Saturday night. They lost out 4-2 away to the Dundee Stars. And Belfast made amends for the night previous. They defeated the Fife Flyers 5-1 at Fife Ice Arena. Your fixtures this weekend, starting off with Saturday night. Braehead host the Fife Flyers. Sheffield play in Ice Sheffield to host the Dundee Stars. The Hull Stingrays play against the Cardiff Devils. And the match live on Premier Sports, 7 p.m, the Coventry Blaze host the Belfast Giants. Fixtures this Sunday, it's as you were in Coventry. They host the Belfast Giants once again. This time the face-off is at 5:15 p.m. Edinburgh are at home to conference rivals, the Hull Stingrays. and Braehead and Fife play a reverse of the previous night's fixture. That will be at Fife Ice Arena. And finally, the Cardiff Devils host the Sheffield Steelers. Nottingham, of course, not in action this weekend. They're off to Asiago in Italy for the Continental Cup. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. For now, let's speak to Todd Dutiaume, Fife Flyers head coach, about the results last week and the forthcoming weekend. Now, last weekend, you had 2 Challenge Cup home matches. Saturday, you overcame the Dundee Stars by 4-2. Overall, how pleased were you with that performance, especially coming back twice and getting your first win of the season over the Stars?
I think performance-wise, I'm not particularly sure. I think the bigger issue was that we got the monkey off our back and beat arguably our closest rivals. I think the game could have gone either way. Both teams had chances, but we did enough to hang on. And like I mentioned, we maybe gave ourselves a little bit more confidence because we're going to see those guys a lot more. And it's a team, if we want to succeed in the conference, we're going to have to beat them.
You spoke previously, you were looking for guys to get shooting more and put more rubber on net. Saturday night you outshot Dundee by a ratio almost 2-1. Did you feel you were taking more chances and putting that much more pressure on net?
Well, we changed a couple things, and we've been struggling to score goals this year, and it's a cliche, but you won't score goals if you don't shoot the puck. So yeah, guys were told to start shooting the puck, but maybe more importantly for the net. A lot of guys haven't been performing great offensively, so just trying to get them back to doing the simple things, going to the net and jumping on rebounds and getting to those areas that we've kind of, I don't know if avoiding is the right word, but we certainly haven't been getting there. And for whatever reason in the night, it worked enough for us to get the 2 points. So it's great.
Sunday, unfortunately, didn't go so well for you against the Belfast Giants. They scored 10 seconds into the contest and didn't really look back to win 5-1 eventually. They had a bad result the previous night from their point of view against Edinburgh. Was that a case of an angry team wanting to bounce right back, or did you feel maybe other factors played into the result as well?
I don't know. I all along that, Belfast are obviously the best performing team in the country right now. We identified the back end there as arguably the best in the country. The defense are very mobile. Really kind of stymied our guys all night. And yeah, you know what? You give up that goal in 10 seconds, which I think Kevin Regan would say to anybody that you should have that. You'd want that one back. But what that does is it kind of silences our building. But for the rest of the period, we regrouped and hung in there and then get another one. And then for that first 10 minutes of the second period, we kind of took the initiative and we were going at them. But this happened to us a couple times this year. We're playing good, we're on a roll, and then all of a sudden the team comes back and one of their first chances of the period, and boom, it's in the net. From there, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that they didn't really look back. After that, I think fatigue came a factor for us, and maybe a few guys trying to do a few too many things themselves outside the systems, and credit to Belfast, they played a good game, and we didn't have the answers for them that night.
You had both games at home, which doesn't really happen too often here. As a coach, did that factor into your preparations going into that weekend?
Well, as a coach, if you don't have to travel and get on that bus, that's fantastic. I think any coach would take a home game over an away game. Saying that, maybe not in our first half of the season, we tend to be doing a bit better on the road, but seriously, it's nice some weekends not to get on the bus, but unfortunately from a monetary side of things, I know it's a big ask. Hockey is an expensive sport to play and watch, basis. That's what people want. That's what people want to see. And as players and coaches, we feel that we should be expecting that. So we got a few things to change up, and hopefully we can perform for the support of home crowd.
This weekend you play the Braehead Clan on both days. You'll be away on the Saturday and return home Sunday. It's a somewhat different Clan team you'll face after last time. What do you feel you need to do in order to get the 4 points out of the weekend?
Well, play some of our best hockey, or if not the best hockey that we had this year. We met them early on in the season when, I don't know if unorganized is the right word for it, but when maybe both teams were trying to find their feet. I got a lot of respect for Ryan. I think he has that team playing exceptionally well. I think that team has had a little bit of ups and downs over the years, but I think he's certainly righted that ship early on here, and he's got that team out of Braehead playing really well. And they're dangerous because they have a lot of good hockey players there. So I think that if they continue on present course and we don't do something about it, Braehead will be right up there at the top somewhere come into the season. But we meet them, a bunch of times, and this weekend's two of those. And I'd be delighted if we could halt their good progress so far and get some points and start propelling on our way up the standings.
About 6 weeks ago, the Flyers formally celebrated their 75th year of existence with the Legends Night. Can you give us an idea of just how special that night was for everyone connected with the club?
Well, certainly in town here, there was a big build-up. But I don't think anybody could have predicted the response that we got from the community. And, there was a lot of old faces. I mean, I've been around for 15 years, and I've just scratched the surface. I didn't know half the guys. It was nice to finally put a face to some names. And it was really well run, and just good to catch up with some old buddies from years and years ago, and celebrate a team that's very proud of their tradition. 75 years, a great accomplishment, and I know under a current directorship that these guys are planning to be around for a lot longer. So hopefully the next celebration is 100 for this squad, and I'm just happy to be a small part of it.
Finally, as you just mentioned a moment ago there, you've been with the club over 15 years now. What's the special thing to you about the Flyers that's kept you in Kirkcaldy for so long?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of history between myself and the club, and I think loyalty at this club is a big thing we try to harp on to the players. We're a pretty loyal bunch. Guys, we like guys to come here and enjoy their experience, play good hockey, and stick around in a stable environment. But the Flyers also supported me through a number of personal things that I've gone through. So there was never any question that after my first couple of years here, that I was ever going to go anywhere. I'm quite proud to say that I've been around that long. But I think a couple things, maybe early on in my career when we won the Grand Slam, that was pretty special feeling in the room and the community. And just more recently, I think I have been here for so long, is the current crop of British players that we have now. Most were young kids when I came to this, and now these guys are up playing in the Elite League with a little or no pro experience. And it's taken a while, but some of these guys are developing into decent hockey players. And I like the Flyers ethos about using local guys from our community. It's one of the big reasons that this team's around. And some nights you're lining up against a team of retired GB internationals, and I have a plumber, and a cleaner, and an electrician. But just because these guys don't have have the hockey training that some of the other guys don't. They're pretty passionate guys, and I'm pretty proud that these guys have had the experience to play pro hockey, experience that sort of life, and if they continue to improve, just makes me happy to be a part of it.
Thanks for speaking to me today, Todd, and best of luck this upcoming weekend.
Thanks very much.
Fife Flyers coach there, Todd Dutiaume, always a pleasure to speak to. And now that's going to mark the sounding of the buzzer for the first period in centre ice. The second period is about to start.